Jim, would you do the honor of the prayer, please? Please stand.
Most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for those that are here assembled to take care of the business of this your city. Be with those who are not able to be with us for whatever reason. Be with the sick, the bereaved. Help us to do your will for your benefit, for your glory, and for the benefit of your people. We always say and do be for your glory. In Jesus' name, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Joy, you call the roll, please.
Mr. Bollinger.
Here.
Mr. Fanning.
Here.
Mr. Ebb. Mr. Hatmaker.
Here.
Mayor Sandhill.
Here. Item number 4, approval of the minutes of your January 2014 meeting.
Motion approved, Mayor.
Have a motion by Joe, second by Bob.
Mr. Bollinger.
Yes.
Mr. Fanning.
Yes.
Mr. Hatmaker.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 5, reports from your boards, your committees, and your department heads. What's your pleasure?
Move to that.
Motion by Bob, second.
Second.
Call roll.
Mr. Bollinger.
Yes.
Mr. Fanning.
Yes.
Mr. Hatmaker.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 6, any comments from the citizens?
Right, done a good job.
Thank you, Vernon. Item number 7, any announcements? No, being none. Under administrative, number 1, farmers market. We talked about that in the workshop the other day, talking about the Freeman Park. I did talk to Lanston Hill, and Lanston said it'd be okay for us to use his parking lot. I talked to him, yours Dee. And he also said he's going to go in business, selling Christmas lights. I was seeing his light pole stuff, and he was wanting our permission to put lights on that winter cherry tree at no cost to the city. He said we could use his parking lot.
That's on Saturday.
Yes, so be no problem. They have a motion to go ahead with the farmer's market.
I don't know if we need to, if it's something we need to vote on or not.
I'd say we need to vote on it because of the insurance.
If he's coming back, I thought, he said he was coming back with a detailed proposal.
Right.
I think that's what,
I think council's biggest concern was to address the parking lot. So Lansing said it was okay.
yeah, exactly.
Does council see any problem with putting lights on the weeping cherry tree? Mr. Hatmaker?
As long as I don't have to put them on.
Me neither, Joe.
No,
Okay, I appreciate it. Okay, under the home grant, Terry talked about the home grant in the workshop. It's a 100% grant. We got one here a few years back, and we're going to apply for that too. So is there any comments on that?
Do you need a motion to apply for it?
Probably.
I'll make a motion, we apply for the home
I
grant.
have a motion by Hanson, second by Bond, call the roll.
Mr. Bollinger.
Yes.
Mr. Fanning.
Yes.
Mr. Hatmaker.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 3 is recreation grant. It's a 50-50 match up to $250,000. And it can be used for like bleachers, just playground stuff like across the street.
skate park.
Skate park, yeah. I miss the skate park, yeah. Sure do.
Has anybody come up with a proposal of what all we want to apply for?
Johnny was posted. Johnny, did you come up with anything or?
I'll get with Terry and get all the details, and I'll have something ready for you next meeting.
Okay.
But the only thing we need to do is just go ahead and give permission to apply for it, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll put that in form of a motion, and then we'll go ahead and go with the recreation grant, 50-50 match, up to $250,000.
Have a motion by Mr. Hatmaker, second by Bob. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bollinger.
Yes.
Mr. Fanning.
Yes.
Mr. Hatmaker.
Yes.
Item number 4, the Friday work schedule. We've talked about that in a couple of workshops, so what's your pleasure, council?
Can I make a comment, Mayor, on that?
Sure.
Since Stephanie's not here again, and I know Did she talk to you, Reed, about, well, she was gonna try to get a hold of you to see if she could leave a message in a way that she could vote on it and not be here. I told me that I didn't know if that was legal or not. But, is there any way that we could put this off till the next meeting so that she'll be here and that way she can express her opinion? She's, she's for it, and right now, and the vote may not be here anyway. If she was here, it may not be here. I don't know, but I'm just trying to save the employees Fridays. That's what I'm trying to do. So it's up to you guys, whatever.
Well, we discussed this in probably 2 workshops.
Yeah, I know.
We keep putting it
Yeah,
out, I know Ms. Grimby.
Yeah.
She'll be for keeping it, so.
Well, I'm the first one that ever brought this up in 1999, and I pushed for it. In 2007, David, that's 6 or 7, David Young talked to each one of the councilmen, and it actually, we lose money plus productivity. And we voted it out in 2007, I believe it was 2007. So I'm gonna make a motion, effective next pay schedule, to do away with the Friday work, go back to the 5-day-a-week and do away with the work schedule we have right now. Now, with the option of maybe how we're gonna handle the administration office, are we gonna close at 12 to 1 for everybody to go eat, or we're gonna, 2 of them go at 12 to 1 and the other goes from 1 to 2 or something like that. I'd like to have your all's input on that, but other than that, I'll make the motion to do away with the Friday work schedule.
Okay, Bob just made the motion, as far as, offset their time,
Yes.
that should be up to department head, like.
Well, we're just talking about the front office.
Front office, yeah.
And I don't know who, right now, since we don't have a city administrator, I don't know who to ask about that.
John. You have a problem with it?
Well, if you'll go back and look at the last time that we passed it, it's supposed to be left up to the department heads. And if it didn't work in that department, then we were supposed to deal with that department, not with everybody.
Right.
But that's not the way we're doing it now. We're going to penalize everybody now because of something that maybe 1 or 2 departments doing. I don't know. But I didn't think there's any problem. But I know one thing. If I was the public out there and they done me that way, I'd remember when it come around election time.
Well, the first thing to think about is what we're gonna do about the offices. Are we gonna leave them open all day long and rotate our lunches? Or are we just gonna close it from 12 to 1 and everybody have lunch at the same time?
I think you need to rotate it and keep that open, because that's really your cash register.
Okay, in my motion, then I'm gonna say that the mayor get with the workers in administration to keep it open and stagger their lunch hours and let him handle that particular part, and that's my motion. Now, about anything talking about the public, I know that our number 1 duty is to the public. Our number 2 is to the employees. So, but this just seems, I saw the figures in 2007, I didn't like them in 2007. I voted and made the motion to do away with it in 2007. In 2000, when I didn't run again, it was put back in, but it's not a very good policy. It would not work for my drugstores, and I don't know how it's going to work with productivity here. So my motion is to do away with it. At the very next
Pay period.
Pay period.
I have a motion by Mr. Fanning, do I have a second?
I second the motion, Mayor.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bollinger?
Yes.
Mr. Fanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hatmaker?
No. And let me make
Motion carries.
a statement right here, a little statement. Bob said to benefit the city and the employees. It looks to me like that we're going what the council wants, not what the people want. I've talked to every one of them out there. Every one of them out there is for their Fridays off.
Well,
So
I'm talking about-
I didn't say anything when you was talking about, so let me finish.
Well,
So-
say what I say.
Well, you
No,
can fix,
no.
when you say when I get done. I've done had it done if you had nobody did. But, let me say this. I am for if we're doing what the people wanted done out there, it's just like Stephanie said, we've not been able to give them a raise in 4 or 5 years. So this was just a little benefit that we were trying to give the people, that the employees, so that they would feel good about their jobs. We keep taking from them instead of giving anything to them. So, my vote's no.
In response to that, the public is the citizens of the Fallon, and then the employees are the employees. And that,
And they're citizens too, Bob. You may not look at them as citizens, but they are.
well, but anyway,
Yeah.
it's already,
Motion carries.
okay, thank you.
Under Public Works, on North 11th Street, Jim, you wanted to talk about that a little, or what do you recommend, or?
As far as I'm concerned, excuse me, the council needs to decide what they want done, how much of that they want repaved, and how much at whose expense. I think that's, the way it needs to be handled. I don't mean to dodge a bullet, but I don't, honestly don't think I ought to bear the responsibility of taking the whole thing, you know, on myself, to call what streets get paved and who's to pay for what. I know it's not fair to the citizens for the city to pay much of it at least,
Jim,
and, you know, to the taxpayers,
Jim,
yes.
how many streets out there is torn up? I know 11th, part of 11th is torn up.
11th, and now, here again, I did not inspect those streets from this perspective before they were hauled over. So I can't tell you exactly which streets were damaged how much, except for 11th Street. I mean, that's obvious. There's a couple of other spots that, may be available. They didn't help it at least. And I don't care to point those out.
Well, I know, I was out through there, just a few months back, and 11th Street was in pretty good shape. Drove all the way up there to the end where, I guess, the dirt come from. 11th Street was pretty good shape. Probably had at least another 2 to 3 year lifespan, probably. I don't know what's fair. I don't know if 80-20 is fair, as far as the paving. Do you know how much mileage there is on it?
No.
Well, you know, Stan, I called you and asked the ordinance of how big of a truck can be on the city streets. Can you give that to us?
10,000 pounds.
10,000 pounds?
Yes.
So, Jim, I believe that our police officers should be starting looking at these trucks on our streets to pull them off. I think the number one thing we ought to do is siding. Okay, it needs to be sided. And then I would recommend, my recommendation is you really don't know how much problem you're going to have until it starts warming up.
Right.
So I would have Mr. Mullins start looking at these streets. All those streets in West was ran over too. And there's some damage on new streets that were just paved. And then I would suggest to us to sit back and have Reed talk to the person, to the Arnolds, and right, as far as I'm concerned, it's 100%. They ought to be bonded. Number one, they broke the law. Number two, I think Reed should be involved in that and talking directly to them and see what he can come up with. And this thing may have to go to court.
Yeah.
But roads was destroyed, and we had ordinance to protect ourselves.
It's not been long since we put a weight limit on that bridge up there. Were they using that bridge?
He was crossing that bridge with empty trucks.
It was going back, full truck, other direction. So you've got some roads out there that's not showing, and won't show until it starts warming up. The 11th Street is the worst one, but there's some.
Who's exempt from the weight limit?
10,000.
I mean, who's exempt from it?
Federal and state,
Who?
federal and state, is that correct, Stan?
Let me go into one.
Okay.
Let me say something, while Stan's going to something, you know. I'm probably more familiar from streets than anybody in this room here. I've looked at all the streets that Mr. Arnold wants to be on. The 11th Street from Forest up to Orange Street, it was in need of repair. I mean, he's probably done some damage to it, but not a whole lot. But from Orange Street to the end of it, it's the last street up there, is have to be, the whole thing be blacktop. But a lot of these streets we're talking about here, he's not done that much damage to them. They were already in bad shape. My main concern is Orange Street to the end of the block we got of dirt. Now, in front of Miss Shepherd's, that road was scheduled to be blacktop. We probably got maybe another year, not really, we got 2 years out of it, but, you know, it needs a little patchwork on it. But, you know, the streets he's traveled on is really just in bad need of repair before he traveled on.
May I make a comment on this situation with the guys working? I believe it would really be like it used to be. If you could work it out with the guys that works for the street department, it was that way years ago. They get off like 3 o'clock on payday and Fridays, you know, to go to the bank. It's always been a good thing for them to do, and I believe it'd be a real good thing for the council to consider. At least give them a chance. On payday, they can go to the bank early and get off at 3 o'clock in the evening.
Virgil, you're about 8 or 10 minutes too late. Still been voted on, been voted on.
I still feel like it would be I still feel like the council needs to consider that maybe, you know, because
Mayor, would you have any objections of you and Jim, since you've been negotiating this thing all the way through, was involved in from the word go?
Pretty much.
And you and Jim and the other people that's involved and come up with something, and whatever y'all come up with, but you need to get with this weight limit. You need to be very careful how you handle that.
Yeah, the city trucks that way.
Because the according, it says material. Now, when you start looking at what material is, the definition of material, it covers a lot of territory. It covers 1,000 different things. So when you say material, then you're giving those people the right to either pick up material or deliver material. So dirt is material. So that weight limit, the way that it's wrote up and the way it's defined, there've been 3 or 4 people looked at it, and the word material in it pretty well gives them the right to haul if they want to, and there ain't much you can do about it. But we don't need to try to get into that. I'd just like to try to solve this thing, maybe you and Jim and Reed and the other people that's involved.
I mean, I don't really care, I don't care a bit to be involved with it. Like I say, I probably know those streets better than anybody in this room here.
You what?
I probably know those streets better than anybody in this room.
Well, that's the reason why I'd like for you to.
I've worked in the streets.
Try to work it out.
Yeah.
Would you have a problem with that?
No, sir.
I don't need a motion on that, do I? Or do it?
It's
Reed?
weird. It's weird.
It just can do that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is it okay
and
if
tell
you
us
do?
something.
Is it
Try
okay?
to tell us something. How's that?
I don't have a problem with it, we'll work it out, but I think council ought to approve what we work out.
Right, right.
Well, if we agree with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't think,
Okay.
not, you know,
Yes.
we can work on it and come up with a proposal, and then the council vote yes or no. Is that right?
But you just need to work with Reed on it, because let Reed, guide us through this thing if we don't get off track.
Yeah.
You know, with the ordinance. I assume that's ordinance, isn't it? Yeah.
Stan, is this state and federal and city trucks is exempt? Tell me who is exempt from this.
That was my understanding from the beginning. The state, federal, city vehicles are exempt from that. Is that not correct, Ray? When we first done that ordinance?
And for them to carry, for an independent to carry somewhere, they have to come in front of the plan commission, and the plan commission has to be voted on as a variance, and they have to set a bond and all that stuff to be on our streets.
They're also supposed to notify the Public Works Department.
Right.
Yes.
And, you know, and order that there's a law. So Reed needs to get involved and, you know, any less than 100%. Because you can't really tell what's gonna happen until the spring, can you, Jim? Because we got West LaFollette, I've had 5 or 6 individuals call me that they've already tore up some of them West LaFollette too.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't care getting to work with Jim. That's what council wants me to do.
And Reed, you can get involved with them. Bring us back your recommendation.
Yeah, no problem with that.
Hey, Mayor, I have a question.
Virgil,
Should not all the bridges and the streets have a weight limit on the city streets and the bridges? Should they not be a weight limit on all of them? Because I remember back in the days when they hauled coal off of Stanton Street and everywhere, that, you know, the extra heavy loads would tear the roads up. Should not all the city streets and bridges have a weight limit on them?
I think most of our bridges do have a weight limit on it, Virgil, I think. But what we're talking about is the weight on the streets. It's in the code here, it's in the charter. The weight of the truck, loading or unloading. But like I said, we'll get back with this. Okay, let's move on to the fire department. Fire department, Gary, speech of the firefighter. Gary's give you a letter.
Y'all have my recommendation, that's why I recommend it.
Video comes to here.
Okay. You have Gary's reputation. What's the pleasure of the council?
I make a motion to dismiss firefighter Russell Nichols.
I have a motion by Bob. Do I have a second?
Second motion.
Call the roll, George, please.
Mr. Bellinger?
Yes.
Mr. Fanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hatmaker?
Can I ask a question, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Gary,
Yes.
have you done everything that's been necessary to do with this gentleman?
A lot of stuff I don't have no control of. He violated policies, and that's the city policy, but he's not talked to me except one time for about 2 minutes. That was on the 17th.
So you give him every opportunity to, and talk with him and try to correct the problem and everything?
It's up to him. I don't call him. It's up to him.
Have you give him every opportunity?
He's called me one time, he never talked about done anything, so.
Okay. No.
Motion carries. Under ordinances, resolutions. Resolutions 2014-02, resolutions for the CDBG grant. You have that in your packet. And I also have a letter from Kenny Beard, Director of Utilities. It says, Dear Mayor Stanfield, please accept this letter as a formal commitment from LaFollette Utilities to cover all required matching funds for the city upcoming 2014 CDBG sewer system improvement application. LUB is in full support of this project because it is extremely needed to correct numerous problems throughout the existing sewer collection system. Upon the successful funding of this grant, LUB will forward the necessary local funding to the city to match each CDBG request. Thank you for your consideration given to this very important project. Should you have any questions, please feel free to call me. What's the pleasure of council?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2014-02.
I have a motion by
I
Bob.
second the motion.
Second by Hansel, call roll.
Mr. Bellinger?
I'd like to state that I have a conflict, that I work for LaFollette Utilities, but I know this is needed, and I vote yes.
Mr. Fanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hatmaker?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 2, resolutions 2014-03, resolution to amend the 2013-2014 budget. You have a copy of it in your packet. Is there any questions or how's the council?
I move to approve, Mayor.
Okay, motion, second, call roll, please.
Mr. Bellinger?
Yes.
Mr. Fanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hatmaker?
What was that amount? You remember?
The total amount?
Yes. The amendment to the budget.
Well, it's right here.
Yeah. What is it? Got the amount on it? What was it?
It's not added up. You got $150,000 in capital expenditure, that's the old post office.
Yeah.
You got $15,000 for operating supplies, that's Jim's Public Works. Repair and maintenance street Public Works, $15,000. Repair and maintenance street department Public Works, that's a tile. Is that the tile, Jim, for?
Well, it replaces, yeah, Yeah,
For total strength?
yeah, just make it.
Okay. $70,000 for capital expenditures, that's paving in public works, that's Wording Blacktop, Cheston. Is that our bid, Andrew? Okay.
Yes.
Motion carries. Being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.
Call order the Fair Board. Roll, please.
Chairman Bollinger.
Here.
Mr. Fainan.
Here.
Ms. Green. Mr. Hatmaker.
Yes.
Mayor Sampiel.
Here.
With the pen on you from this, no other business, and I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion made.